Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now. Creators, welcome to this week's live stream. I'm Dave, and this video, this live stream is brought to you by the TVR creators. Welcome to tonight. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to be talking about with you how to use YouTube Studios and analytics and how to use it, how to best to use it to your advantage to grow your channel here on YouTube. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. Now, if this is your first time here, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. I make weekly YouTube tips to help you build your brand. Smash that like button and let's crack on with the video, because tonight I'm going to give you value. You're going to get value from this video. Alright, here we go. So let's crack on. We've got loads to talk about. I'm going to go over the channel and stuff like that. We've got a nice little setup going on. I hope you're having a great week. And let's crack on with the value, because that is ultimately why you're here. So if we just go over to, I'm just going to go to my channel and I'm just going to show you basically, feel free to add some questions over the night, but just bear with me a moment as I just show you what I want to show you. Is basically, I want to talk about the channel. Now, when I mean the channel, I don't just mean my channel. I mean the behind the scenes of your channel. I want you to take notes. You know, before we start, hashtag drink water Dave. I want to see that in the comments. Let's have a look. Let's see if you're doing it. Hashtag big up the big. Hey, thank you. I want you to say hashtag drink water Dave, because I need to drink that. Oh yes. So I want to look at the channel behind the scenes more particularly, and I want you to grab a drink, get ready, grab an Andy, grab a tea as it's actually called, get a drink, get a pad, write notes, maybe get a tablet while you're watching this on your phone so you can look at the behind the scenes, and let's get value together. Now, this is the behind the scenes. And first off, I just want to show you the channel dashboard, and there's a lot to get through, but at the same time, it's not as scary as you might think. Now, there's lots of green arrows, which is quite nice to see. That's thanks to you guys. And I've always been a bit reluctant, a bit like, you know, it's my channel, and I'm sure like all of you, I'm a little bit protective of my work. But you know what? You guys are the core fans, and you guys watching this now are here because you want to find out more about the YouTube Studio, and it's actually quite simple to use once you get to use it. You might think, Dave, there's so much to look and bear with, but I'll tell you what, it really is not that difficult. So basically, if you look here then, so you've got your latest video, you can probably see it in the corner there, and this basically gives you rundown. Now, one thing I'd recommend if you've not done it already is download the YouTube Studio app on your phone. It's a brilliant gadget, and it basically gives you quite a lot of this info on your phone. So when you're out and about, you want to check on your channel, see what your latest video's doing. You know, sometimes I'll probably get a little bit obsessed by it if I'm honest, but it's just really important to, you know, you can sort of see what's working, how long people watching your videos, and so much more. But let's get into what I mean by that. So say look at your video then, and this is the type of thing that you will get on your phone, or if you're on a computer, laptop, Mac, whatever. And straight away, this gives you a rough idea. Now, the ranking 1 to 10 is basically a ranking of how well that video is comparing to your previous videos. So apparently this is ranking 2 in the last 28 days. So that's pretty cool. So for those of you that watched the last video, it was a bit of a motivational video, but if you've seen it, you already know that. If you haven't watched it, go watch after this video. But as you can see, you guys got value from it. So YouTube tells me straight away that, you know, it's a thumbs up, got a green light, it's doing better than normal at this point in time. So just to give you a run by, I got about 20 views within the first couple of hours, and usually that takes a day or so for it to rank up depending on how many of you guys watch the video, but literally the next day it was on like 34, something like that. So that tells me that it's actually done quite well. Now, according to YouTube, the click-through rate is 10.1, so I want you to bear something in mind actually. That's telling me that my thumbnail, that's basically just saying that my thumbnail is something that a lot of people out there, some of you, well, all of you, and just random people on YouTube are clicking on that thumbnail. So it must be a good thumbnail, but just bear in mind, if I suddenly got thousands and thousands of views, or if you got thousands and thousands of views, that will go down. So don't worry too much, but it just gives you a rough idea. You can, you see the arrow. So on the whole, this thumbnail, for whatever reason, is just compelling enough to you guys to make you guys want to click on it. And that's something you want to bear in mind when you're making your thumbnails. And just briefly on that, you basically want, maybe I find a picture of you holding or near the thing you're talking about, whatever, if you're gaming, if you're a musician, whatever your channel's about, and I find just no more than about 3 words if possible, just so it just gives a rough, it just grabs the attention and the title backs it up, and see the title and thumbnail as partner. A partner in crime, so we say. So that's cool. So just bear that in mind as well. So you can see this is done all right. So let's just have a look. Obviously, you can look at your comments. Obviously, we need to get into that in a moment. But you can just look at the analytics. I can never say that word. And you can see, this is actually quite interesting. So apparently, according to YouTube, then we got 3 more than usual at this point in time, so it's done a bit better than normal. Your watch time, obviously, for those of you that want to work towards monetization, which is what a lot of you want, so eventually you want to make money from your channel and that sort of thing. So apparently I've gained 1.4 hours of watch time, which will go towards the 4,000 that we all need. And just put in the comments if you're working towards monetization. That'd be just interesting to see. And if you're getting value from this video, give it a like if you haven't already. But anyway, to look at this graph, you can see that this sort of slightly grey area gives you a rough idea of how well my videos, or your videos, both our videos, it's both the same thing, how well they usually perform. And the top, the bottom is sort of like an average sort of thing. And basically, as you can see, this has done slightly better. So something to bear in mind, if you make a video that does a little bit better, just sort of briefly, you want to think about why. What is it have you done differently in that video that people have just found more interesting? Now, being brutally honest, I suppose with this particular video, for those of you that have seen it, I was out and about, I was on location, I wasn't just in the studio, so instantly it was probably just a more interesting video. It was a bit of a motivational video, so it wasn't just it wasn't bog standard video, so it's a bit different, so you guys probably find that more interesting. And so it's probably good to mix it up, but at the same time, if I did the same video every week, it'd probably get stale and you'd probably see this dip. So I don't want to go into that into too much. If you want me to go in more detail, I will, but you get the rough idea. And also, a little thing you want to bear in mind is the subscribers. Now, this particular video at the moment, bear in mind it was only Tuesday it posted, and quite often on my videos, I'll be brutally honest, I sometimes get 1 or 2 new subscribers, so welcome to the TVR universe. And I think the most I've had on a video is something like 4 or 5. At the moment this hasn't, so for whatever reason no one subscribed watching it, but it's no big deal, because I try to make my video, well, I don't try to, I do, I make my videos to give you value, and that's why I make my content. So this is quite cool. So the impressions then, so you're probably thinking, what is impressions? Some of you may already know. Basically that just means people on YouTube. So and this is when it can get a little bit like it can get a little bit disheartening, but bear this in mind, okay? So apparently 209 people have seen the thumbnail. Obviously only 43 have technically clicked on it. You're probably thinking, oh, okay. But you've got to remember there's millions of people on YouTube looking at all sorts of videos, searching for particular things. And, that's still, a good proportion of the amount of people that have seen it. If you had like 14,000 and only 5 views, then you might want to think to yourself, what am I doing wrong with my thumbnail? But for whatever reason, obviously that thumbnail must have sort of worked. So it's doing, it's not my best video I've ever done, but at the same time, it's not the worst. And by the look of the tracking, it's looking quite good. The impression rate is looking quite healthy. I don't know if you noticed this the other day, but I had some problems with the YouTube studio. It's getting a bit lag time. I don't know what that was about. Feel free to comment if you've experienced that recently. I don't know if it was just me. I did see on the internet that YouTube was having a few problems, I think yesterday or the day before. I don't know what that was about. But you've got to bear in mind it's a massive platform, so there's always going to be hiccups. Engagement then. This is something that's quite interesting. You go through that and you can see on average, and this is basically just people commenting, liking, interacting, and I always say it's massively important if you can, especially as a sort of smaller content creator. I don't really like using that term, but just think smaller content creator. I personally think that's more about how you see yourself, and I don't mean that in a big-headed way, but I mean like see yourself as big, because I just think that all of you have talents in your own way. So try not to see yourself, you know, even if you've only got 2 subscribers, see yourself as, no, I'm a content creator, and have pride in that. But basically it just means, you know, the amount of people that have seen it and that sort of thing. And what you can do, I mean, bear in mind it's only a sort of just under 4-minute video, so it's not too long. And I find, you know, as someone stated to me the other day, and I've thought about for a while as well, in this very fast-paced world, most people don't have all night to watch videos that go on for 40 minutes. Unless they're really into the video, or they've just got it in the background and that sort of thing. So I tend to find bite-sized videos tend to do better. And you may have seen that YouTube have started a thing called Shorts, which is basically like 30-second videos and stuff like that. But I'll perhaps talk about that in a different video. But anyway, so you can sort of see the detail. Obviously in this you can change, well, I'm sure a lot of you know this anyway, if you've been posting your content, you can change your title at any point, your description. I'll perhaps talk about it in another video, because, you know, that's fairly straightforward and I'm sure you know about that. Design a good thumbnail, put it in a playlist, and make sure it's not for kids if, you know, if you don't want to get attract the couple, or unless it is for kids, but then obviously, anyway, that's a whole different video. I would definitely make sure that it has a good end screen, and make sure you add your cards. It's something I don't always see you guys doing, and some of you are. If you are, thumbs up. You know who you are, but definitely make sure that you have your end cards at the end of the video that just advertise a playlist, you know, a video you want people to see. And a lot of professional content creators and YouTube themselves recommend having a best for the audience as at least one of the links, and that will work out depending on what people are actually watching. We'll talk about a bit more of that later on. And that will work out the type of videos that person actually watches, and then it will, you know, suggest to them and what video that they may enjoy from your channel. So bear that in mind. So, you know, do something that you want people to see, and then give the option for YouTube to go, actually, this is what people might actually want to watch. And in a nice possible way, YouTube's probably better at doing that than we are. And obviously you can check your comments, blah, blah, blah. But let's just go back to the dashboard. So, so as you can see here straight away, you can see your subscribers. I value all 267 of you, and that's gradually going up all the time, so thank you. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Views and watch time you can instantly see, and this is something that you might, let's just briefly look at this dashboard before we go into any more. So straight away you can see, you know, your most recent published videos, and I like this. Again, you can use this on your studio app on your phone, which I highly recommend if you haven't done already. If you have, you will know how awesome it is. You can straight away see some of your latest comments, so that isn't always up to date, so just bear that in mind. What I like here, hashtag drink water Dave. Sorry. And what I like about this, you can, as well as the analytics, and you can see how videos judge, and we could perhaps go into more detail later. But you can instantly see straight away, you know, what videos have got the most views, what's got the most engagement, most likes and comments. And you can sort of think, right, those 2 videos have got more comments and likes. Why? What have you done in those videos that have just made them perform better? Have they got better lighting? Have they got better sound? Are they just about topics that are just generally more interesting? So there's lots of things you want to bear in mind, but we'll talk about that in other videos, and I talk about that a lot in previous videos, so I don't want to drag into the details of that unless you want me to later. But that just gives you a rough idea, and you can see, you know, and then randomly you'll get videos like I have. The other week I had 2 live streams that went way over 200 views within the first sort of day, and I was like, wow, okay, wow. So, you know, I'm still trying to work out exactly what happened. I think that's because I did one about Vid Summit, and it was a Vid Summit weekend the other week. You know, and this is something, just briefly, I want you to always bear in mind, if you take nothing away from any video that you watch ever, and that is give value, solve problems, and wherever possible, ride trends. And when I mean that, I don't just mean, and I say when possible, because I don't think it's healthy just to ride every trend you see. You know, you want to ride trends within your niche, and occasionally, because if you're just riding trends all the time, it's almost like you're just going with the flow, and you know you're controlled by what's happening on YouTube rather than making content that perhaps gives your viewers value. So just bear that in mind. So occasionally do it, but I recommend don't always do it. That's basically what I mean by that. So where you got your latest comments, most recent subscribers, but bear in mind some people's options, they hide things like that, so you don't always see your latest subscribers, which is a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Or sometimes you might not find out till a week later. It's just how YouTube works. I want to talk about more analytics, or how YouTube pushes out your videos in a moment, and that's the basis of that. And I'm just going to go into more channel analytics in a moment, but first, drink water, Dave. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now. Welcome back. Let's see then what you guys are happening. Wow, drink more. I like it. Dave, what's your top 3 things to keep an eye on with analytics? Let's give the geezer a big thumbs up. Thanks, mate. I will answer that question. So, drink water, Dave. I love it. Yeah, drink water, Dave. Hashtag spread that on all social media. Drink water, Dave. Let's make that a trend on Twitter. Why not? Okay, 3 things I would look out for. Bear with me. Right, so the 3 things I would look out for before we get into the analytics, because that's what we're getting to now. I can't say that word, so bear with me on that. I would personally see how your videos perform, and I would basically say these 3 tabs here. Don't worry too much how well it's doing, though you might want to. Because I tend to find that sometimes your newest videos, unless they're done really badly, would tend to be in the top 5 anyway. So just bear that in mind. But, you know, something to keep in mind. But the 3 base things is impressions, click-through rate. If that's low or higher than your previous videos, think about why. Have you just made a better thumbnail? Is it just a better video? Is it just a topic that's more interesting? Obviously your views and your average view duration. I would purposely say the most important is how long people have actually watched a video. So if you go into your right, so it's changed it a bit here. It usually does it wider. I don't know if that's just if it's changed. But my YouTube's always changing stuff. I know they are changing the studio lab, but this is usually wide. Anyway, bear with me. So basically, I've got an average duration of 50%, and I've got to a point now where a lot of my videos are about 50%, and that is, you might think, okay, well that's about half the people that watch the videos will watch all of it. And for me, this is the most important thing because this shows value. Now, occasionally I will get a video that has like 34 or 40%. And that's interesting. This is something I probably study way too much, but I think it's important. This is the most important thing you can do when you post a video afterwards. Give it a day or 2. It takes a day or 2 to get more accurate anyway. But I personally aim for about 50%. If you can get higher than that, awesome. If you got videos that go over 20-30 minutes, I highly doubt that you will get over 30. That's just how the world works, because people tend to watch about, you know, let's be realistic, 6-7 minutes, and people will start dropping off, even if it's the best video in the world, just because people, you know, get distracted with life in general, or something else pops up on their phone. And bear in mind, a lot of people watch your content on their phone, so bear that in mind. So if you can get 40 or 50%, that's awesome. If those you get higher, feel free to put your duration in your last video in the comments. That's just out of interest. What your durations you get. Put hashtag me if you get 50% in your videos. I'll have a look in a second. Just put hashtag me if you get 40, if you get over 40%. Anyway, so basically you want to study this. So bear in mind that most people will click on the video and for whatever reason they just leave because that's just what people do, or it's not quite the video they're for, or whatever the reason. So it's pretty much impossible to get like 90 or 100%. So just bear that in mind. So don't be too hard on yourself. But bear in mind, by about the first few minutes, you want to keep a good chunk of your audience. And like I said, if you can get this nice, steady, I call it the glider effect. You've got this nice gliding effect. And if you can keep about 40%, and what you'll probably find in a lot of your videos is the last few seconds, they really dip, because that'll be where a lot of us will go, and thanks for watching, that sort of thing. Drink water Dave, hashtag drink water Dave. I'm losing my voice now. Wow. And you will notice that. So something that they're actually not advertising, but suggesting, is actually we don't even say goodbye. We literally just make the content, bam, end cards. And you may find, you know, that's something you could test. That's something that I don't like to do because I feel that's almost rude. But then again, that might help my watch time. But I think it's nice for you guys, for me to go, you know, thanks for watching, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and something else you want to keep an eye out here is these little peaks, the little mountain peaks. And on this video it's not too bad. I'll perhaps look at another one to give you a little look. But sometimes you'll get really big peaks, and that means, I don't know, if you said, oh, in about a minute long in the video I will tell you about such and such, and people have gone on your video looking for that particular bit of value, as I like to call it, and you'll find people skip, and that's not really what you want. You'll still get people that watch in between, but you want to try and, you don't want to say anything that will indicate that, you know, there might be stuff later on. And I know I do that, but that's because I want to give you guys the value. But just bear that in mind. So if you do say, oh, later in the video I'm going to be talking about such and such, you may find that will spike and you'll lose a lot of people, because they'll be like, oh, I came for this, and you're now talking about this for 10 minutes before you get to that. And so just bear all that in mind. So, you know, trying to clickbait as little as possible and give the value as soon as possible, and test with that. So, you know, in your video you want a good hook, literally 3 or 4 seconds of this video is about blah blah blah, and then you want an intro, possibly, but no longer than 2 or 3 seconds. You may notice that in most of my videos, my intro, especially my bite-sized videos, tend to be no longer than 2 or 3 seconds, because I know myself, if I'm watching a video and they've got 10-second video that's just lots and lots of pictures and blah blah blah, then unless you're a massive fan of the content creator, you're going to get bored, you're going to leave, and that's just how it works. Or you're going to skip, and then your intro is pointless anyway. So just bear all that in mind, and maybe test out, have an intro and just have your value, just have the content, see what happens. But for me, I like to have hook, intro, content, a little bit end, you know, and test with that. And I just find that works the best for YouTube. And you're going to think about the people, the types of people that are on YouTube. And, you know, sometimes I find if you have the intro first, then you're like, oh, I'm not interested, and you skip it anyway. So sometimes I find the hook just stops the person from clicking off the video. And you will see that in your analytics. If we just briefly then, if I can show you this actually, if you're interested. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's build. All right, when I did the build, that's as you can see, this video did quite nicely. 1.6 hours. I just want to see here. See, this only got 31%. So for whatever reason, and I think it's because it was about building your brand. And I think, being brutally honest with myself, I think I perhaps took too long to get to that. Why people there, they want to know exactly how they build their brand, and perhaps I just talked a little bit waffle too much slightly. Have to bear in mind. But then again, you know, I had the hook, I had the intro, I said why you should like and subscribe, which I think is very important. But for whatever reason, that just didn't quite relate to people. But say on the whole, you know, you know, people tend to watch it. You got a nice watch time. I got decent views. I had some nice comments on it. So, you know, it's about what you feel is most important. So just, you know, bear that in mind. And obviously the more views you get, the lower this will get. So I find in one of these videos, actually, I don't know if I can show you this, just to give you a bit of content. You know, if you get a live stream, say one of my ones from ages ago, like the Vid Summit one, and you'll probably see, now a lot of people kicked in once I got talking, once they realised what the time was and blah, blah, blah. But your chat messages, is it doing it here? Yeah, see, so here we've got 12%. And you could look at that and think, wow. And you've got to remember, that's a 45-minute video. So, you know, being brutally honest, some people obviously came in from the start and watched it all. You know, that would have been you core guys. But you've got to bear in mind as well that, you know, when you got a video that long, especially if it's live, people may come in and out. You know, they may, mind you, it doesn't indicate that as much, but you may find that people might just jump on the video, maybe 20 minutes later, you know, watch it for 5-10 minutes, leave again. And you've got to bear that in mind. I'm not saying you guys do, because you guys are awesome, but I'm just saying when you're making a video, if you make it a normal video too long, bear in mind, you know, your average duration may dip. I appreciate I'm waffling a bit about this now. So let's change the topic. Right, let's see what's going on. Hashtag drink water Dave. Hello everyone. Oh yes. You're going to get value from this video. Alright guys. We're going to give you guys absolute value. So if this is your first time here, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I help you build your brand by making content like this on a weekly basis to bring you value. Oh, I'm actually losing my voice. Hashtag drink water Dave. I talk so much in these videos, I tell you. Right, anyway, so there's that. I just want to say then, I want to do a shout out to my good old friend from college, Perry, who's growing his musician channel. Go and check him out. If you go down to the channels at the bottom of the channel, you'll see Perry as one of the channels I follow, and his stuff is awesome. If you watch this now or later, you rock, mate, because I think you're going to be a future musician star. I think you're going to be a star. You're already a musician. I just think you're going to be a star. So go and check him out. He's awesome, and he does live videos. He's having a break to work on a project for a couple of weeks, but most Sundays 9 AM he posts his content. So you rock, mate. Go and check him out after you've watched his live stream, obviously. So crack on, Perry. You're going to get value from this video. Alright, so let's bring you guys absolute value. I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I bring you weekly value to help you build your brand. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. And if those of you watching now and if you are getting value from this content, don't forget to give it a big massive thumbs up, hit that like button. And if you want to get weekly value, don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified when we post content. Right, so let's crack on with the analytics. So let's just talk about briefly then so I've sort of gone over, you know, the basics of how YouTube Studio works, the things to look at. I will perhaps go into a bit more about that, but I just want to say just briefly on how YouTube works. So you post your video, and I highly recommend using other brands or other platforms to advertise your video, but ultimately let YouTube just do its thing, and it will show it to, you know, your core subscribers, the types of people that watch your content anyway. And if they click on it, and the more people that click on it, it will show it to more people. And if those people watch it, it will show it to more people. But for whatever reason, if it gets to like a certain point and not so many people watching it, or they're not watching it for long enough, this is where the audience duration is quite important. If they're not watching at least 50% of the video, it may start to slow down how many people it shows it to. And that's why videos tend to fade out after, you know, 2 or 3 days. But then quite often I find, feel free to comment in the comments below, I also find a week or two later that sometimes YouTube will kick it back into action and has clearly shown it to more people, because you'll suddenly get an extra 20 views or 50 views, or like I did the other week, almost 300 views on a video. So it's sort of like, you know, it's funny to think of it like that. And that's quite interesting to see, and that's the sort of the basics of it. There's obviously more and more complex than that, but that's basically how it sort of works, how the mechanics of YouTube works to show your video to as many people as possible. Because ultimately YouTube is a business, it's a company, and I'll get to about that in a second about new update. And what it's basically wants as many people as possible to watch its content and the content that we're making, and it will show it to as many or as little people depending on how value people find that video, and if people like that video, YouTube will show it to more people. And this is where we go into the updates that is coming out now. You're going to get value from this video. Alright! I don't know why I keep doing that. So basically the new update has basically strung out, and a lot of people have been getting scared. I personally haven't seen too much of that, which is great, because obviously we have the best fans in the world. You are the TVR universe. Now basically the update basically means, I don't know if you may or may not have seen it, is YouTube is going to sort of push out, it's actually not going to happen till early next year to mid next year, and they're going to be showing adverts on more and more people's videos, even if you're not monetized. So a lot of people found that frustrating. I want to get the facts here right, so this is why I'm slowing down a little bit, and just bear that in mind. But don't freak out about that. Just remember that YouTube is storing your content for free. It's a business at the end of the day. And ultimately, that can work for you. If you think to yourself, well, I could be monetized in a few months or a year or so. And just think, when you think that, you know, and then once you are monetized, you can then decide what ads you are shown on your content, on your videos. You know, if they're skippable ads, if you have ads that break up the video or not, what type of ads are on your channel, you know, stuff like that. So bear that in mind, and then you'll obviously get a cut from that when you start getting revenue from that. So bear that in mind. And you know, I assume that most of the videos will be skippable, so won't worry too much. And this is actually going to be more towards American channels, more in America to begin with. And you know, it's not going to be on everyone's video, so it may only be on certain videos. So if you have one or two videos that perform highly, you may get one or two skippable ads on a video, but then the next 5 videos you might not. And I assume this probably means that eventually they will do on all videos, but for the moment it will just be occasionally, and it's not even going to happen for a few months anyway, or to at least after Christmas. And if it's happened to you, feel free to inbox me and we could talk about that more perhaps in a later video. But it's nothing to worry about. It's, if anything, it's a good thing. It just means that they're going to get more revenue, more money. Eventually when we all get monetized, we'll see the benefits from it, and YouTube / Google will have more money to make this platform and brand even better than it already is, because it's a fantastic place. And I've came across all of you guys through this platform, or most of you guys through this platform, and I come across new creators all the time. And I don't know if you're finding this as well. Please state in the comments below. When it comes to content creation, I'm getting a bit passionate now, bear with me. I just think we are on a platform that's incredible. We're on a platform where we're no longer, you know, bounded by, you know, you have to get into a certain job to do it, or you have to become a politician to get your ideas out there, or a famous person. You're literally on a platform where you can, you know, give people value, spread positive ideas. Okay, you can do the other, but don't. You know, talk about things you're interested in, share things that you know, which teach other people, and that will be interested in what you're interested in, but perhaps don't know as much as you do. You know, you see where I'm going with that. So it's an amazing platform. So just, you know, YouTube is awesome. And put hashtag YouTube is awesome if you agree with that. I don't know what you think to that, but it's just how I feel about it. Yeah, just bear with that. No, it is. It's a great platform. I love it. I love YouTube. I'll be back after a short break. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now. So if this is your first time here, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. If I want to tell you something now, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I build weekly YouTube videos to help you build your brand. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. Now, before we go anywhere, you've probably seen in the bottom right hand of the corner, or left, or however you look at it, and that's basically my merch. So if you would like to support the channel in that way, go and check it out. The link will be, or should be, in the description, and you can click on it. And if you want to, feel free to buy a mug, or we've now got phone cases, phone covers, whatever you call them, t-shirts, blah blah, or just have a look, or just share it to family and friends if you think they would find it a bit of fun. And it's just a nice little way to just sort of share the platform with you guys. And I've ordered myself a couple of mugs that I will start showing in these videos because I think they're cool. And you probably see my t-shirts I have on most weeks, but I just thought this week I'd be a bit different. Let me know what you think of the setup. I won't always have as much busyness on the screen, just because, you know, it is quite busy, but I was just playing around with how it looked. And I plan to make them more sort of simple, just me, just because it's just easier in the eye, or I find that. And sort of, you know, bear all that in mind. So anyway, so we talked about the YouTube updates. I want to say, do any of you have any questions? Let's go to that. Do you... I've ordered. Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. You rock. No, seriously, thank you. Just spread the word, and it's spreading the TVR universe to the world. We're going to make this the biggest brand in the world, and that is my belief. And that's the type of vision you've got to have as a creator. If you're a DJ like you are, if you're a musician, if you're a gamer creator, if you're a YouTube content creator, if you're a cooking creator, whatever your niche is, don't think. Thank you. Don't think. Don't think, oh, I'm just a YouTube creator. I'm going to get 2 more subscribers by Christmas. Don't think like that. Think, you know what? I'm going to be the biggest DJ in London. I'm going to be the biggest DJ in the world. I'm going to be a bigger musician than Michael Jackson. I know it sounds daft, but the way I look at it is, if you aim high, then wherever you do land may be lower, but it'll be far higher than if you have the attitude of, well, it's all right, and I'll get 2 subscribers within 10 years, or I'll have 2 people watching me do my DJ and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So really think as high as you can. I don't mean to the point where you're like some crazy loon. I don't mean like that, but just aim for the stars. And if you get the sky, oh my God, I'm right behind you all the way, and every one of you watching this now. So I'm getting a bit passionate again, but I mean this. I really want to see you guys grow and evolve and build your brand, your channels, your DJs. I want you to push your passions to the absolute limit, in a positive way, and just do what you love, because there's nothing worse in life than literally going, oh, and just doing nothing. It's so important, and eventually your passion could become your job, your life, and how much happier are you doing your passion compared to something you don't want to do? It's an ultimatum. There's no thought. And if you can put your passion, and you can get money from it, even better. Even if you're just doing something that you just plan to do this as a holiday, thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you, no, thank you, Princess. Thank you. I've lost my train of thought now, but, even if you're doing this as a hobby and you just want to just have fun, connect with other people that are creative or have a similar interest to you, that is far more valuable than just going home, sitting in the corner, going, ooh. I don't know. I'm going on a waffle now, but you get what I mean by that. So I really do feel. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Brad. That means so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. And just briefly on that, to any of you, to all of you tonight that have ordered some merch, big thank you. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. And I will be changing them occasionally, to update it so it's not the same old stuff all the time. And no, thank you again. And we're going to spread this platform because you guys rock. Just thought I'd get that out there. If you have any questions about the YouTube platform while we're here, please feel free to put them in the live chat, and I will do my best. You should do a class. You know what? That's a good idea. Sorry, I've not got corona, I promise. I've just I'll throw water all over the studio now. I've just been talking a lot, as I'm sure you're aware. Hashtag drink water Dave. So if I was to make a mug, say, I'd love to do a glass, but I don't think the site does a glass at the moment. But if they do, I'll have a look. But if I was to do a mug or a t-shirt or glass that said drink water Dave, would that be something you guys would be interested in? Put hashtag yes if you are. Okay, awesome. Hashtag drink more. So put drink more Dave or drink more. What do you think it sounds better? I'll have a think about that. Okay, I'll see what I can do in the next week or two. No, that's actually quite funny. I like that. See, you guys are giving me, you're giving me some good ideas here. You know what? Let's call it the after show. I'm not going anywhere just yet. I'm going to answer some more questions if you've got any. But I just want to say, for those of you that are, just in the audience, so we say, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got value from today's video. If you have any further questions about the YouTube studio, or you want me to go into more detail, hey, I know, yeah. That's a very good point, actually. I like that. If you've, there's any questions about YouTube, the YouTube studio, how YouTube works, put your questions in the comments afterwards, and I'll do my best to answer them best I can, or get back to you as soon as possible, that sort of thing. And next week, drink more, I'll buy it. Okay, I will perhaps look at designing the mug then that says hashtag drink more. I like that. That's cool. I might have to buy one of them myself. Yeah, I think I will, I think I'll do that. Cool, thank you. I'm glad you do. Wicked. Okay, I will look into that, and I'm going to write that down before I forget, because I do get Dumbledored quite a lot, as some of you probably know that. So hashtag drink more. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm just going to do the end bit. I know, yeah, you guys, I tell you what, I know I keep saying this, but you guys really are awesome. I will be back in a moment in the official after show. You guys rock. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe. Who am I kidding? I want to let you watch that for the next 10 years. Oh dear. No, seriously, if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. If you've enjoyed today, again, I'm saying again, thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you guys have got value. I get the impression that you guys have got value. I just wanted to thank you guys again for supporting the brand. Even just by watching my videos, you are supporting the brand. So thank you again, and thank you for tuning in. And I think that's it today. So have a great weekend. Thumbs up. You guys all rock. I genuinely mean that. I know I keep saying it, but I'm going to say it again. You guys genuinely rock, and you are the best fans, viewers, fellow content creators, whatever you want to call yourself, TVR universe, whatever, that I could ask for. And we are in this together, and I genuinely feel that. So, you know what? You guys rock. What's the intro? And let's all do it together now. Drink water, Dave. Drink more. Hashtag drink more. You guys rock. Have a great weekend. And you know what? Drink more. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now.